That's the question, right? Like, isn't it the question? Yeah. So, like, don't come in the building. On toes. Yeah, I am, because I'm like, don't come in the building telling me what I need to do and have, because...
Right, you don't even go to Roof Chris. You can't even afford Capital Grill.
There you go. And like, literally, honestly, it's being single is tough from that perspective, because I've literally had a person right there do that. Like, I didn't even know her. And she was like, let's go to Capital Grill. And I really felt like she was testing me. Like, what? I don't even know you. No, because I don't even know you. Like,
so you're one of those Starbucks guys.
I'm like, yeah, coffee. There you go.
I don't like Starbucks. I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
It's because it's too loud, too many people.
All right, let's find somewhere else.
It's like,
let's find a cute
it's
cafe.
Like you're sitting at the table and people in line listening to your conversation.
Okay.
They're like, oh, they on the first date.
Okay.
I don't like Starbucks.
But we can find somewhere else.
That's fine, as long as it's quiet.
But what I'm saying is a gauge date.
Right.
Really?
It's a turn off.
No, it's not for me, and I'm gonna tell you why, because I don't like to waste time. So for me, I need to kind of meet you for like 20 minutes to see if I even want to sit down with you for an hour.
Okay. No, and that's fair.
Because I don't always know if I'm gonna like a person.
Right.
So I do want to meet real quick.
But we think on a dating level, just all-purpose basic fundamentals, right? The gauge is, let's do something neutral so we can get to know each other. And that's why I call it the gauge date, when somebody goes,
for her, that's Capital Grill.
Meet me at Roof Chris.
She said Capital Grill is a gauge date.
Maybe, but we're going back to that emotional intelligence thing, right? I just don't think that's appropriate, because we don't know each other like that. Like, you should just dial it back, and you should figure out what you can do, and stop sitting there trying to put measurements on guys that basically the real guy can see you. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I guess that's what I'm saying to all of y'all, right? I don't know how we got on dating. But no, to all those women, a real smart, emotionally intelligent guy, I can see you. I can already see what you're doing by asking me, should I go, like, let's go to Roof Chris or Capital Grill? Affording it isn't an issue. The question is, why are you even shooting that shot? It doesn't make any sense.
So if a man is that you've seen, let's say you're seeing a man, you've seen him a couple of times, and he never takes you out. Tell me, what does that mean?
Oh, that's bad.
That means he don't really like you, right?
That's bad. That's bad. You mean out and out?
I think they never take you out.
What is that?
What is it?
That's bad, because clearly if he can't go out with you,
he doesn't like you.
I
think the women need to hear that.
It's about, look, again, I don't know how to see. They're funny, because this is all. We started off with entrepreneurship, and I knew it. Yeah, here we go. I knew it was gonna go here. Listen. Every relationship is built differently. And, I think everybody guys should take women out, obviously. And if he's just basically like, let's just Netflix and chill all the time, I would say that he's not super, super serious about you. Mm-mm. That's all. Okay. No, because y'all try to set me up, man.
Business positioning and partnerships. So that's what we're talking about.
Okay, you're drilling down on first dates now, right? Before it gets to partnerships.
We already talked about partnerships. You said you ain't doing them.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so we're clear.
You have to fill time.
So do you not look at relationships as partnerships?
Relationships are definitely partnerships.
Okay.
Relationships definitely take, it's all, everybody's all in to kind of build what we're trying to build. So hands down, they are. I think experience and time matters across all realms. So that's business, personally, everything, right? It matters. So at that point, like, you have to really understand, the dynamics of what you're creating, right? And it's like what we touched on. It's very important to understand the person that, you're thinking you're going to align yourself with. Because my thing is, I prefer just be solo versus being with somebody that's pulling me down.
Oh, of course.
100%.
Right. So I think that's what's to be taken into consideration, specifically once you have a lot of experience. Yeah. Like, that, listen, I'm doing a lot. I've built a lot. This is where I am in my life. Like, you don't want somebody that you tagging onto you and they just like, oh wait.
100%.
You know, so
Definitely.
and there's no getting around that for those of us that, you know, put the thought into what, you know, what we want out of a relationship. And, you know, I think that's what makes it complicated because people tend to like get mad. Like I mean, if you have standards and then all of a sudden, oh, I ain't good enough for you. You are good enough for somebody.
Right.
it just might not be
Right.
me.
It ain't no
And that's okay.
Yeah.
You touched on something that I wanted to go back to when you were talking about you never felt inferior. Mm-hmm. Do you think that is an energy or if you're an entrepreneur, is that something that's just in you to never feel inferior since you have to step into so many different spaces at all time and talk to different people? Do you feel like that separates, for lack of better words, the regular folk from entrepreneurs?
Oh, it definitely separates the packs, right? Like, I mean, if you're an alpha male, you're the leader of the pack, you're the leader of the pack. That's just the way this works. You don't have to announce it. Everybody just feels that energy when you're in the building. So that part is what it's going to be. I think that, you know, for me, I wasn't always who I am. I had like a different childhood upbringing, challenges, decisions that I made. So all that's going to be in my book, and it's called Hiding in Plain View. Is coming out in the summer. But no,
love the title.
I love the title.
Right.
And in that book, I talk about you know, just what I had to like deal with and grow through to be who I am. And I think that a lot of failure and losses and disappointment, I think that builds you up if you have the right type of personality. And you start to understand those variables and you go, I'm always gonna push forward. Right. And it's a self thing. It's not, you can't teach me this, right? It was through everything that I witnessed and I saw. And you know, I'm cool with that. And that's what I mean about accepting where you are in life, you know, and I think that's what makes me, you know, built out of Teflon now, right? I really understand, honestly, that my family, my kids are most important. You know, everything else is gonna be fluff. Just don't talk about my kids and some of my best friends that'll be the problem, right? Like, you know, but everything else is just business and everybody's entitled to their opinion, especially in this environment, YouTube. Everybody's gonna chime in and look at our outfits and what I said and how I said it. Listen, you're entitled to that. So I'm cool with it. And like, if you're not ready for it, don't step into the arena, right?
Definitely.
So once you say, okay, I'm ready for it, then, you know, it just bounces off you like anything else, right? Because you just kind of like, you knew you were going to be here. You're going to have critics. You know, they up there in the stands booing. I'm on the field. You know?
I know, that's right.
You know, I always talk about it. I'm not sitting on the bench. It's
yeah,
right.
There you go. So if you on the bench, have your opinion, right?
Right.
Spectators, we ain't worried about the spectators. Spectate, you know?
But
we on the field, right? We in the game. So yeah, you're going to take your bumps and bruises. I'm going to miss some shots. Yeah, but I'm in it.
Right.
That's all that matters.
Stay in it.
That's it. And I'm in it all the way till they take me out.
So let's circle back around to business since we're making you feel...
Full circle, thank you. I was good,
we're
though.
making him feel super uncomfortable.
No, absolutely not. We can do this all day, Dawn. This could be a 2-hour segment. We can make this a 2-hour segment. I can do this all day.
He got beads of sweat all over his forehead.
I'm ready.
You ain't ready.
Keep it coming, man. Over there talking that nonsense. Like, we can do it.
Oh, you're so funny.
I am. I'm funny.
You are really funny.
I am. I'm
on
funny.
a whole nother level.
I know. I just can't help myself. You know, it just naturally comes out.
But I know you said you would not do a partnership. You would just give your boo money to invest.
My wife.
Oh, let's clarify that.
Yeah, let's clarify that. I ain't say no boo. Yeah, ain't no boo involved. Like, she gonna be. We're married.
Okay, right. So you would give Mrs. Clarke.
Yeah, Mrs. Clarke, all right.
The money, but do you invest in other businesses?
Yes, that's a great question, Dawn. I mean, I'm everywhere. So, I actually started my first business back in like 2005. So, graduating from grad school. It's funny because straight from PG County right here in PG County, went to Bowie State grad school, and so BSU, love y'all. And my buddy Brian, both of us, again, this is when I learned the power of women too, though, right? So in our class of 40, there were 4 guys.
Oh, wow.
36 women. Okay, let's just keep that in mind. Graduated, said my buddy Brown was all pumped. He was like, yeah, I'm going to get my PhD. I was like, nah. I was like, nah, I've had enough. I was so burnt out on school. I was just like, nah, you know? And then I was like, what do I want to do? I did try to do the 9-to-5 thing for a couple of years. And honestly, you guys, I basically found myself on a golf course one time with an executive director. And I think I was maybe like making 50 or 60 back then. And we playing golf, and I remember looking out, and I'm like, this can't be my life. You know, like I was like, this is nothing. You know, like it just, so then I said, you know what, I want to fast forward, met, you know, my ex, decided that, you know, move to Virginia, and it was like, okay, what do you want to do, Marcel? I had always been putting the money away. I decided that I wanted to buy a franchise. So I didn't really want to start from scratch, because I was like, yo, no, that feels a little overwhelming, you know? But I was like, if I buy a franchise, I could at least understand their systems and customer service and accounting. And, you know, again, you know, my background, you know, graduated with, you know, degrees in business administration all the way up the ladder. I was like, all right, that might work. So I bought my first franchise. It was called The Maze, and they're based in Nebraska. Pretty successful business, but sold it because, you know, that's the thing about franchise. I was in it for 5 years. And then after 5 years, I was like, why am I paying you guys these franchise fees?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
Right.
Like, I was like, I mean, they were almost making as much as I was making.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, this doesn't work. So, but they were cool. I mean, and remember, when you buy a franchise, you lock into a contract. But I knew a lot of the CEOs, and because I was a minority and I helped them pump the business up, they kind of gave me a break, let me out. So, but they only focused on like residential. So they only want to do condos, houses. I was like, one day, a lot of my clients, and this again, when you're hands-on in the business, I was the manager with the Maze, even though I owned it. I always knew a lot of clients, and they're a really high-end franchise. So a lot of those clients would be, you can't come out and do my office. I have a building, so and so. And I was like, I was contractually like confined, and I always had to tell them no. So what I did was, right before I sold the Maze, maybe like a year before, I put a little office within the space that we were in, probably like a 3,000 square foot space. Found a little office, created Colonial commercial cleaning. And I was like, started taking on accounts. I was like, yeah, hey, Mr. So-and-so, yeah, we're good. So when I sold it, we probably had maybe like 400,000 in accounts. And then like, it just grew, it blew up because I was able to kind of like, I took what I learned from the franchise, their marketing schemes, everything about how we dealt with clients. I really appreciated that because they were high end, you know? And it was the same thing, like those clients, like they knew what they were paying for. And like, you never had a whole lot of discussion around that. It was just really about, you know, your four girls need to show up and crush it. Right. So then after that, created Colonial commercial cleaning, it blew up. And then I kind of got like, I mean, once I had the systems in place for that, I was like, all right, I'm kind of bored. But when I was in college, I used to rent, like I had a townhouse and I used to rent rooms there. So they were paying for the mortgage. And I was like, this is smart. I was like, hold on. So I started figuring out rentals. And then when I moved to Virginia, it's funny how God works. My next door neighbor was a general contractor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was like, Gary Nelson. And I was like, hey, Gary, what's going on? And bottom line is we started working on just doing flips. Mm. Yeah, and he was so sharp and really good at it that I was like, it was a really good source of income. But I kind of like the TV shows, that's fluff because, I mean, the margins are there, but they're not.
Not really.
Yeah, yeah, that's nonsense, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing about flipping, anybody that ever wants to get into flipping, just keep in mind, you're paying everybody first, right? So you got to pay the realtors, contractors, everybody gets paid before you. And you have to hope that, okay, the sales price is going to cover not only all the expenses involved in the project, but that you're going to make some money. And then you're going to get taxed on it. So I was just like, yeah. So stopped that, and I kind of like moved into real estate development. So that's what my company, Millennium Strategic Investments, does. We do development. And then my other two beautiful hobbies, and it's starting to become a lot, I'm sorry, y'all. But quickly, crypto was mainstream, maybe it started like 10 years ago, everybody was on Bitcoin. I knew a couple of people that were in the industry, started investing in Ether and a couple of the other, coins, just as a hobby. But it started making money. So, I mean, those are investment accounts that I kind of monitor. And I also, I'm a stock market, like, I'm obsessed with the stock market because to everybody, that is the greatest wealth building
100%.
engine in the history of mankind. All right, like you really, back in the day it was 401ks, now it's ETFs, but you really should understand what you're investing in. People even that are in companies, please look at those statements and see what companies where they're putting your money, because it matters. And it's not really that hard once you really start to understand the fundamentals of the stock market. So I encourage everybody to go down that road. But yeah, so the stock market is like one of my all-time hobbies. I probably made more money in the stock market than I've ever made in any of my businesses.
Yeah.
It's like that. I gave y'all a nugget. Out of everything I do,
I concur.
The market,
for sure. Yeah.
the market does what the market does. So you want to be involved with that. So between those four, that's what I do. I mean, now YouTube channel, author. I just feel like I'm doing too much. But the thing about it,
you're a great delegator, so
yeah, exactly. And I think
that helps a
she
lot.
just knocked it out of the park with anything that I've built. I don't. One thing I learned as a young entrepreneur is that, and this is please remember this. Remember this. You can't build a business if you're in the business. Okay.
You better preach.
You hear that? You can't. As an entrepreneur, you always feel like, all right, I gotta do everything because they're not gonna do as good as me. Well, what you're killing yourself. You're killing yourself because you need to be out there growing your business. You need to be out there telling everybody about your business. You need to be making sure that the marketing for your business is there. You need to be that's like our children, our babies. You need to make sure they have everything that they need to succeed, but you need to be doing that. You can't be in there with the picks and shovels. It doesn't work that way. You can't win. So you have to let go at some point. Remember that. Remember what I said. Every last business that I just talked about that I launched, I was in there. Even for you start back with the maze, when one person called out, I had a backpack vac on my back in that customer's
send me
house.
a picture.
Feel me? Just picture that, 6'5", I'm coming through the door with the back, 3 little Latinos with me, bro. But I was like, yo, we gotta get this money, I was like, we gotta get the cash.
Right.
So you need to do that too.
Right.
But then you have to back off,
Right.
you have to kind of back off and then do your thing.
The visuals.
I can't get that out my head.
It happened.
That is too funny.
It is a part of what we do. There are times where you do have to roll up the sleeves and get in there.
Yeah.
And you do hope, and that's the goal, to get everything working so you don't have to be in there on a consistent basis.
It's mandatory.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I think that a lot of newer companies especially, or a lot of entrepreneurs overall, they're scared to step away from their business and actually run the business. But I believe that is our job as CEOs, presidents, whatever you call yourself, to make it rain.
Yep.
We're the rainmakers. That's what we do.
Yep.
We go in and we figure out how to grow the business, how to build the business, and you hire people to do all the other stuff. So I'm a super delegator.
Yep.
I always have people helping me do every piece of it because I want to focus on the piece that's going to add zeros.
Yeah.
Not
there you go.
the piece that's going to do that. But I do think a lot
I
of...
apologize. I struggle with that.
Really?
I do struggle
Yeah,
with that.
I know.
I am very
I
much
know.
a hands-on, and let me just push that over a little to the left. And wait a minute, let me,
Yeah.
I'm a very visual person,
But it's
as
working
well as
for
I'm
you.
very hands-on. So I do want to move away, but I have not gotten there completely. Yeah, that's a goal.
When it's your baby, though.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, when it's your baby.
You'll get
it's
tired.
not- it's
Oh,
not-
I'm tired.
Because you'll get to the point where you're just tired and you're like, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Yeah, but
And then the older we get, you just
Can't.
should not.
Right.
Well, I
be
mean,
doing
I've
it.
met entrepreneurs like that, though, all the way down. I mean, that's just what they like to do.
Yeah, I mean, if it's your thing.
If it's your
I guess.
thing, it's your thing, right? I don't know. I mean, even a ball player is gonna always play ball even after he retires, right?
But as a hobby, not as
Yeah, okay. But I'm just saying it's in him.
But it's
So I
different
mean, if it's
when
in you, if it's in you and it's something that you really like to do just because you like to do it.
Yeah.
I think to me that's much harder. Like I ain't like vacuuming, so like, so I mean, like that wasn't, it was easy.
Even if you like to do it, at some point it does still come a point where you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, I think that's the brilliant part about being an entrepreneur. I mean, at some point you have to kind of like look and see, like, okay, and I'm sure when the right person comes into Tanya's space and she's like, all right, I think this person actually is listening, catching everything. She's like me. I think it's easier then.
Definitely, because I've had businesses that literally I could be gone for months.
You think?
They could run themselves.
Yeah. Right.
But I am very particular until that time comes. I will not step away until that time comes.
Because it's your brand.
It is.
And it represents you.
It is.
So why would you step away?
Because I do want to kind of spend a little time on the other brands that I'm like, I've been neglecting y'all. But
it's always
that
fluid
balance.
and it's moving. Yeah.
Are y'all looking at me?
Because you always have all the questions. This dynamic, la la la. Like you got questions.
I literally been rolling off the partnerships, but because we made Marcel so nervous with them, I don't want to ask any more of my
questions. Question you want. Don't listen to Dawn. I'm never nervous, people.
The
so
sweat
like,
is beating up all
I don't see any sweat. She over there making up stories. Let's go.
He nervous. You can see his hand twitching.
I've never had a question that would concern me. Like, you just be honest.
So, curious question. This is just my curiosity. So, you are single, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No ring, nothing.
Oh, my DMs are going to be blowing up.
No shadows.
They're going to be blowing up. So, do you prefer dating entrepreneurs or women who have traditional jobs like 9 to 5?
I don't have a preference. I mean, you do what you do.
Do you prefer younger or your age, like age appropriate?
I have a base on age when it comes to women, but I mean, women a 30-year-old could be as mature as a 40-year-old.
We're not talking about maturity,
right? But it's true. It comes along with the.
You said you have a base. Is that base older or younger?
The base is. I'm 50. 35 would be my I'm not messing with anybody 35. But again, like I said, women are a lot more mature and established than guys at certain ages. So I don't think I've ever even thought about age when I met somebody. It's more about chemistry. Yeah, and it's like our connection and, I'm not, here we go in the DMV, right? There you go. Oh, what do you do for a living? Like, come on, people.
That's just area, though.
But that's why I said the DMV, right? I open up with that. Like, everybody, that's a gauge. Like, really?
It's not that. It's just a title. I think it's just a conversation starter because this area is mostly professionals. That's all this area is.
Doesn't everybody have professionals?
No, like I lived in Miami for a while. It's not like that there. So that's not a conversation starter. But here it's a conversation. Like in Miami, it's where are you from? Because it's a transient state. So, but here.
Do guys start with that question though? Like, what do you do for a living?
They exit off the break.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, most men always ask, so what do you do? And a lot of it doesn't bother me because I'm going to tell them what I want to tell them. But I think, but the thing is, I think it's because I think men take it like when we ask, we want to know like how much you make. But it's to gauge, like, are you a thinker or are you a worker? Like, do you think all day or are you working all day? Because now I know when I approach you, I'm not going to approach you with any hard questions. If you've been thinking all day, you want to chill. If you're a worker, then I know I need to approach you with, hey, what do you need? So now I know how to come at you a little different. So I know there are some women who do want to say, oh, he's an IT professional, he must make about $150. I know that's some women. That's not me, but I think you have to look at why they ask the question more so. But it doesn't bother me. And I think they want to know, men out here are gold diggers. These men out here are gold diggers. They want your money.
Well, that's a different generation.
Yeah, I'm talking about our generation.
Now, not the way where I grew up. I don't know. Dawn?
Marcel, that is our generation.
I don't know about
They are coming out. They want to know how much you weigh.
What?
Yes, they want you to pay for trips and take them out to eat and all that.
Kanye, I don't recall it being that way. Now, I'm not gonna go back and forth with.
First of all, Marcel, how long have you been in these dating streets? I've been out here longer.
4 years.
Okay, so I've been out here longer than you. I'm telling you, it's not right.
But I'm just saying, listen.
You're still a rookie.
I speak in generalities on certain subjects, and this one, I don't recall it being that way. I don't really like to label either side.
That's your world.
To be quite honest with you, so I don't know about all of that. But yeah, I mean, I know the younger kids though. I mean, that's they're, but I'm just saying, my observation of these younger dudes, they definitely like, they don't want to do the bare minimum. They like, all right, what do you do for a living? And they'll jump on your back. I don't know about that. But what I'm saying is, I mean, your original question, again, I'm just kind of like, look, it's the pee in the pool then, right? Because if there is a large majority of women that are actually really literally trying to say, what do you do for a living? Because I want to see if you measure up, and you get used to hearing that, then that guy's going to be on the off. He's going to be like on the deep end. Now, and again, that's what makes dating very complicated sometimes, because then the guy that's not really making any money, he offended too, right? Because he's like, why you asking me? Because he broke,
Right.
So I totally understand how it can be convoluted.
You think somebody peeping your $10?
Yeah, so I totally get that question. I just think that, like you said, it's more prevalent in our area because to me, it's always been used as a measuring stick, right? Gotta have a nice job, gotta have a nice car, gotta have a nice house, gotta be tall. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is a generic
Well, you
list,
checking all the boxes. Why you single?
Because I'm intentionally single because I'm just doing my thing, but I don't know how that.
How'd you get this?
Y'all got sushi like
I got y'all back.
Is this how your show works?
No, listen.
Please help me out.
The viewers want to know.
I'm and the viewers, like, y'all stay out of my business. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look.
They want to know what's up with this.
My point is that generic box is being applied to my entire gender. So even those guys that aren't checking all the boxes, they might be handling their business in a different way, but they totally getting annoyed because they kind of like, I mean, this is how you coming at me.
Yeah,
so again, I'm only speaking to a segment.
No, but let me just say that the reason why a lot of us have to ask some qualifying questions is because now the scrubs have the audacity to approach women that they know are out of their league. So you have to understand, you have guys who literally make $10 an hour, living in their mama basement, don't have a car or metro, don't take care of their kids. That's approaching you like they deserve this. And it's not, so you have to ask some qualifying questions or you're out with a scrub. Now, when I meet a guy of your stature and I was dating this, and you like, you dated this clown? You're looking at me crazy because I done dated this clown, but I didn't even know he was a clown because y'all do judge us based on who we used to date.
No, that's valid. That's valid. That's valid.
So we have to ask qualifying questions because now at this point, I can't be seen in public with everyone. There's certain men that, if I'm going to run into somebody I know, you need to be this. You know what I mean? You can't be this.
Listen.
I'm just saying.
We talked about that. I am totally on board with aligning yourself with the right people.
For sure.
That's just it. I think the offset is, people get, they get in their feelings and they get thrown a certain way, or like, the person you described, he all in his feelings, but again, that's their personal situation. Yeah, that's where you are. I don't have anything to do with that. I'm not in that whole realm of trying to help you out, bro. But my point is, like you said, I guess if I wanted, like, growing up in the DMV, being raised here, what I think is really not cool is the ratios.
Man, screw them ratios. I would say something else, but
why?
Screw them ratios.
Why?
Because it still goes down to quality.
No, but it facilitates a lot of the problems. Because like you said, the scrub is coming at you because somebody actually
gave him a chance.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You feel
somebody
me?
gave him a chance.
So he didn't get his wings. They didn't come out of nowhere, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like he actually got a chance from somebody.
And now he like, oh, I only date women.
Yeah. You feel me? You feel me? And you looking at him like, what? But it was a woman out there that, you know, and I contribute that to the ratios. You know, like I just think that some women just go, you know what, it's better than nothing.
Something. No.
You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. Like it's facilitating everything.
It's rough out here in these streets, Tanya.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying. That's what's facilitating the whole thing. Only I'm not talking universally, y'all. Like we're just talking about District, Maryland, Virginia, DMV. Yes, it's a thing because of that. You know, when a guy can walk into a place and it's 6-1, that's a problem. That's just a problem, and I'm just putting it out there because he has so many options. And like you said, 4 of them
got degrees, got their own house, smart. One thing about this area, the women are amazing.
Doing it.
They are smart.
The women are doing it.
Beautiful.
You know?
They're stylish. They are nice. And they all
I don't know about nice.
Sorry, like I don't know about the nice part. I don't know. I'm with her like so. You like, whoa.
Well, maybe it's just the women in my circle.
That's a beautiful circle.
Yeah, but no, I just think that it is a problem because the women here are amazing.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. If you throw in those numbers, smart women, educated women doing their thing, ratios are out of whack. This guy has a shot. He got a shot out of 6-1. He got a shot.
And then y'all gonna say we used to mess with the scrub.
It's again, I think that, you know, realistically, everybody just need to be realistic. This is what's happening in that scenario, right? And it is going to be what's going to be. And, you know, opportunists are opportunists.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the way it works.
That's why I stay right here.
Yeah, you know,
I think space.
All
we
of
love
us
this.
to stay in our lane, right?
We just like it.
When you ask me that question, I'm staying in my lane. I got other things. I love relationships. I love people. I want to be in a great space with somebody, but I'm not going to compromise. Right?
I feel you.
So, and since I'm not compromising, I'm gonna do my own. I got other things that I can do.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you can still travel. You got your boys.
You
can,
yeah.
You know, you can do a whole so many things. Family, businesses. My world is still moving. It's complete. I'm not dysfunctioning and thinking about one thing.
Right.
100%.
Right?
Well, I mean, I don't think you guys are judged as much by it as we are.
Say
No,
it
we're
again,
not.
Tanya.
Yeah.
Because then we old biddies. All we do is sit in the house of our wine and all that. That's what they call
Tell
us.
tight because I mean, what you're saying is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hear this from my women in my circle. I mean, especially once you get into your 50s and you're putting yourself back out there, there is a level of judgment. And I do think that you should have a list. I mean, I have it in every other aspect of my life. So I should have it moving forward when it comes to dating.
But it's like it has to be strategically done. Like you.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it just has to be a little strategic.
What's strategic?
It just with the list.
I think it has to be about value. For
Like
me, it will
I
have to
don't
be
really
values.
have a checklist. I have deal breakers. There are certain things that I just will not deal with.
Okay.
Okay. And you know, being a scrub is one of them. So I mean, but if those deal breakers aren't present, I will give something a chance. But I think it's more so that. But you know, as you know, we're constantly being vetted by men that we meet.
That's true.
I mean, they're always looking and asking questions a particular way and checking to see who you are, who you were in the past, what you were like. I feel like I'm constantly under a microscope. Because I mean, you know, once you get out there and start dating more, it's like you meet a lot of guys. There's no shortage of men. Do not let anyone tell you that, okay? Because I meet them all day long and all of them are fine. They all tall, they all fine, they all got B's, they got letters behind their names, every single one of them, okay? They got all the initials.
She crazy.
They all are, you know, financially stable, so it's no shortage. The issue that we have is getting them from dating to exclusivity to a ring. It's easy to date them. The hard part is getting that thing to turn into
like,
a
I'm feeling like
brain.
Marcel there.
Yeah, little bees coming in, she like, damn.
No, I'm just saying.
That transition, huh?
No, I'm just saying that's the part. Like, it's because, like you said, they have so many options. There's not a reason for them to want to settle down, per se. So, I mean, you have to think, like, back in the day, they settled down because you needed two people to pay. Well, we're getting back around to that.
Right.
Now people are in relationships because they need the income in order to live, which is what we have to look out for, making sure that someone's not trying to just be with us so that we can help them live a particular lifestyle. So that is an issue that comes into play. I haven't quite figured out how to get them from dating to exclusivity. So I just enjoyed these hybrid relationships. They've been amazing.
So,
amazing.
I mean, Tanya says she has a list, right? So that transitions to, like, check boxes, right? So should a female check the same boxes that she's basically listing?
I think, yes. I think a woman should. Like, you shouldn't want a man who has a great body and you don't even work out. I don't think so. I mean, I think that a lot of us women, especially in this area, like, I spend a lot of time, energy, and money on my beauty, my clothes, my body, my mind. You know, we're paying for specialists in all these areas. We pay to be the greatest version of ourselves. Why should we want someone to come into our space and take advantage of all this that don't have the same?
I totally agree.
It does not make sense.
I mean, that's what I mean.
You know, I know people think I'm joking. So everyone knows I'm plant-based. But, like, I will not date a guy who eats chicken wings every day.
Right.
I just not doing it. I met this one guy, every day he's eating pork chops and curry out. I said, oh, Slim, we can't do it.
Pork chop took him off and got ruled out. She's funny.
No,
At this age, I feel like that matters.
because then they gonna have gout.
Wow.
They gonna have gout and high blood pressure. And then they gonna feel like because you're their woman, you're supposed to take care of them. Which I don't mind taking care of you if I can see you're working to take care of yourself.
Right.
It's not fair for me to come into some mess.
That's right.
I'm not interested because you have to think, I'm living a wonderful life.
Right.
You know, I live in a great place. I travel when I want. I do what I want. I have plenty of great female friends. I have great male companions. I don't have to settle down.
Right.
I can get everything I want because when one don't act right, there's another one.
You know, that's the difference now, like how things have changed. I think that women, women are more empowered,
we're
right?
fine.
Like back in the day, that would have been taboo.
It
you know,
is.
like it's all about, you know, let me see if this one guy can fulfill all
Ain't
my
nobody
needs.
doing
But
that.
now, and guys don't like it. But the script is flipped. And now she's just basically saying that, okay, you just kind of going, all right, you know, I don't have one that's kind of fulfilling all my needs. I can date 2 or 3 and I'm good. Like, we can do, this one likes to ski. this one's like nice restaurants. This one, So like, she's right. Like, I mean, that's a respectable position as a male. I totally can respect. I understand that.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of us take that position, not that we wouldn't be in an exclusive relationship, but there are a bunch of yous out there.
I get you.
That are kind of like, oh no, it's 16 to 1. You need to play your position. So if I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay, fine, I'm gonna play my position.
Yeah.
Okay,
Your
my
position just changed now.
Yeah, my position
like, I get
is,
it.
I got 3 boyfriends,
Yeah.
okay? And we gonna
That's
have a
hilarious.
hybrid relationship, and I'll call you every 3 to 5 business days. And how you wanna carry it?
Dawn is funny.
Am I?
Yeah, that's it.
But this has been amazing. Did you have anything you would like to add, Marcel?
I mean, I think I've been on a whirlwind ride over here, like everything.
It's so fun.
But you know, you guys are amazing. I mean, your show is going to be incredible. I'm sure this is going to go viral. We don't talk about some crazy stuff, but all legit. And thank you for having me on your show because I mean,
No, it's been
a blast.
amazing.
It
Thank
has
you
been.
for coming.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to add some diversity.
Yes, because the men was coming for me. They was all in my DMs like, you need to have a man on the show. So we brought one of your brothers. Now what? He's here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Icon Theory podcast.
And follow us on all of your streaming platforms. And yes, we're looking forward to bringing you more entrepreneurs to talk about many amazing entrepreneurial endeavors.
That includes relationships.
Yeah.
I see.